All right, guys, like he said, my name's Nikki Nordell, and I am your study abroad advisor in the financial aid office. My room is 310, so when we set up an appointment, you won't have to sign in on the computers. You can just tell them you're here to see me and come back. But please set up an appointment before you just come on back, okay? We're going to start by looking at the page that I have there for your handout, your financial aid study abroad checklist. And we'll go through the different sections of that and hopefully be able to answer any questions you have. If at any time you have a question, feel free to raise your hand and I'll answer it, or if you want to wait until the end and see if I cover it before then, that will be fine as well. So the first thing is your financial aid for your study abroad is going to pretty much be the same as your aid for when you're here on campus. I know that you guys are going on programs that are Maymester, which are going to go on to your summer term or a summer study abroad. So your summer aid is a little bit different than your yearly aid, because when you fill out your FAFSA, if you haven't done that, that's the first thing you have to do to get federal aid. You need a PIN number for you and for your parents if you're still a dependent student. And so you can do that at this website, pin.ed.gov. Then once you fill out your FAFSA on fafsa.ed.gov, then that information will come to us if you select Tech as the school for your FAFSA information to be sent. You'll be offered direct loans, which would be either subsidized loans that the government's going to pay interest while you're in school, or unsubsidized loans, which you start accruing your interest right away. And then depending on a magic number called the EFC that the government calculates with the information you put on your FAFSA, that determines if you're eligible for any grant money. Now, if you have these federal loans or the grant money, you are eligible to use that for your study abroad. The only thing with you guys going in the summer that would be different is when you're awarded that aid, it is automatically split between the fall and the spring semesters. So when you get to your summer, if you've already used all of your eligibility for your direct loans and your grant money during the fall and spring semesters, then you would not have any federal money left for your summer. But we'll get to how you can pay for that, don't worry, okay? If for some reason you took fewer hours during one of your semester terms, then you could have a little bit of eligibility that's left over that you could use for the summer. And when you guys come and set up your appointment with me, we can look and see if you have eligibility left or if you've used all of your funding and need to look at a different avenue, okay? All right, so this screen here does talk about those direct loans that I talked about. There are other loans that you can get. You can get a PLUS loan. That would be a Parent Plus. I'm not sure if any of you guys are graduate students, but there's a Grad Plus for students who are graduates that aren't dependent students any longer. Or there are private loans. I did give a loan sheet that at the top is like Loans Made Easy that talks about these different loans. So if you've already filled out your FAFSA for this year, you won't fill that again for the summer, because like I said, you've got that fall, spring, and then summer's like a tail end on there. So if you've already filled out your FAFSA for the 13-14 year, you've already taken care of through this summer. Okay, the 14-15 FAFSA for next school year is already online and ready for you to fill out, and you can do that. And again, you'd be offered the same loans and grant money if you're eligible for those. You would want to make sure that you have your direct deposit account set up with Student Business Services before you leave for your trip, because any aid that you get, whether it is your direct loan, your grant money, if you have scholarships, if you have to apply for a PLUS loan or a private loan, all of that aid is going to disperse the same way that it does when you're here on campus. It will go first to your Student Business Services and pay whatever you owe there. If you have leftover money after your bill is paid, then it will be refunded to your direct deposit account. So make sure you have that set up with Student Business Services. It's a lot easier for them to direct deposit your refund than it is to try to track you across countries to get your money to you. You can always check all of your aid by looking at your rater link. You can accept whatever is there. If you fill out or apply for a private loan or a college access loan or a parent loan, those things are already going to be accepted for you when the loan team certifies those loans. So you won't have to accept those, but the direct loans do have to be accepted if you haven't used them yet and you're wanting to use them for your trip. All right, so your cost for being abroad is going to cost more than you actually being here on campus. So what I will do is Elizabeth's going to give you guys a budget, and you may have seen a rough draft of it so far, but she will give you a budget that'll be your official study abroad budget. It'll be higher than what it would actually cost for you to be on campus. So what I will do is I will go in and I will adjust your campus budget to show that you're studying abroad. When we adjust your budget, it just allows you to get enough aid to cover the cost of your attendance. So since you're studying abroad and have a higher cost of attendance than being on campus, I'll adjust your budget to that higher number. That will allow you to be able to get enough aid to cover that, whether that's your loans, grants, scholarships, any of that aid to get enough. Okay? When you have your budget, or I get it from Elizabeth, I'll be able to go in probably the end of February to the beginning of March is when I'll be able to do some adjusting to budgets and get you guys set up ready for summer. I won't be able to award you then, but I'll be able to put your study abroad on instead of your campus budget, and then be able to give you an estimate of what you're eligible for and how much you might need from outside loan money to cover the rest of your cost of attendance. On your Loans Made Easy sheet, it talks about those direct loans. It talks about the Parent Plus loan. So if you're a dependent student that's younger than 24, your parents can apply for a Parent Plus loan that is in their name if they're awarded. Now, if your parents have really horrible credit and they have not already done this year, if they apply and they're denied, then you get more unsubsidized money offered to you from the government. If they're approved, then that loan would be a loan that's in their name, okay? The next thing that's on the back of that sheet is the College Access Loan. And the College Access Loan is for Texas residents. It's through the state of Texas, and right now it has about a 5.4% interest rate. And then the last thing that you could use that's on the Loan Made Easy sheet would be a private loan. That would be like through Wells Fargo, Discover, Sallie Mae, credit unions. There are several organizations that the university will certify loans for. And those are all listed on Elm Select is the website. And if you don't have these forms and you want to find them, they can be found on our website, thefinancialaid.ttu.edu, and then you click under Info Sheets and you'll be able to find the loan sheet, and I believe the Study Abroad sheet that we're looking at is also on there. All right, scholarships. The scholarship office that's in our office handles undergrad scholarships. If you're a grad student, then you would do that through the grad school. The scholarship website is up right now and ready for you to fill out your application for the 14-15 school year. And on that little bookmark that I gave you, it has the scholarship website. So if you haven't filled out your scholarship application for next school year, you will want to go ahead and get that done. The application will go offline on February 1st, so we're getting close to that deadline. So if you filled out your scholarship application for this year and you received scholarships, most of those scholarships are set up for fall and spring, so there's probably not going to be more scholarship money for the summer. If you are a Terry Foundation scholar and you have a scholarship from the Terry Foundation, it really kind of just depends. It's up to the Terry Foundation whether you're able to use that in the summer and whether you're able to use that for your study abroad. You could ask the scholarship office about any of those scholarships to find out if you're eligible. When I look, all I can see is that you've been awarded this scholarship, but I don't have any of the extra information about scholarships. So if you've got scholarship questions, you would want to ask the scholarship office about your scholarship to see if it's eligible for your summer term. And Elizabeth will talk a little bit more about the study abroad competitive scholarship that they have through the study abroad office. This is going to be important for all of you guys since you guys are going on summer trips. or a Maymester, which is going to count towards your summer. You have to be enrolled in at least 6 hours for the summer to be able to receive any of your financial aid. So that doesn't all have to be in one term. That can be split between the 2 terms. So if your program that you're going on only has 3 hours, you would need to sign up for either a class on campus for the other summer term or an online class. If your program is already 6 hours, then just your program would take care of the 6 hours that you have to be able to get any of your financial aid. This is my information. It's also down at the bottom of your study abroad sheet. So if you forget what it is, you can find my information down there at the bottom. There are a couple things I just realized that I forgot to talk about as we were going through there. Some of you may have military benefits that you're wondering if you can use those. If you have Hazelwood, are all of these guys going on faculty-led program? Okay, so since you guys are all going on a faculty-led and you'll be paying tech tuition, you would be able to use your Hazelwood if you have Hazelwood, okay? You would just have to make sure that you turn in the paperwork to the MVP office so that they would be able to check your eligibility and see how much that you would be able to get for the summer. If you have Chapter 33 benefits, those only cover if you are required to have your study abroad for your program, which I think is the case here for the architecture students. So if you have any questions about military aid, contact the MVP office and ask them, because they're the ones that'll put it onto our system. And so I know that the Hazelwood will apply since you are going on a tech-led program, but the amount will be dependent on the tuition and fees that you pay, and you'll have to turn in a form to them letting them know that you want to use your Hazelwood during your summer term. Okay? Let me just take a quick look over my notes, see what I forgot. Some quick dates that you might want to write down that might save you a little bit of time in having to contact me and ask, and if you forget, feel free to contact me. That's what I'm here for. But as far as setting up your loans, if you're needing to get a loan in the spring to help pay for part of your study abroad, you will need to put the loan dates for January of 14 through May of 14. If you're getting your loan, if you have to take out an extra loan, one of those private loans, college access loans, or a parent loan, you would want, if you're getting your loan for the summer, your dates will be May 15th of 14 to August 15th of 14. That way when the loan team certifies your money, they'll know exactly where it's going to go. One option also that I did not talk about with your budget that Elizabeth's going to give you, your budget that Elizabeth gives you is going to have some components that are added on there that are not part of your normal tech budget. You'll have airfare that's added on there. There'll be a spring deposit that you'll have to pay, your passport, your visa if you have to have a visa, your student ID card, if you have any shots or anything that you have to get before you go. All of those things are included on your budget. I can take those things that you have to pay for before you leave, and we can do a budget increase now in the spring and put those parts of your budget onto the spring, and then the rest of what's left on your study abroad budget goes on the summer. That's when you would be able to get a loan in the spring to pay for your airfare, your passport, and all of those things before you actually have to go. And then you would get a separate loan to pay for the summer part of your trip. And you don't have to do it that way, that's just an option that you have. If you would rather pay your passport and airfare and all of that out of your pocket and then get your extra loan money all in the summer, we can put it all in the summer, and then you can just reimburse yourself out of the refund that you get from the summer. Okay? All right, I think that pretty much covers everything that I needed to say. If you do set up an outside loan, make sure that you let me know as soon as you get it done so that I can alert the loan team to make sure that they get y'all certified quicker, since you're going to be off campus instead of here. So just shoot me an email when you have it set up, and make sure that I know to be watching for it. Does anybody have any questions? Did I miss anything? Do I need to say anything again? Yes, sir?
Are the applications still open for the Gilman Award?
They should still be open for the Gilman Award. Do you know when the Gilman closes?
Talk about that in a minute.
Okay. Anybody else? One more name I can give you to write down if you have a pen is Dr. Lynn Falwell. Her office deals with scholarships that are from outside of the university, and they're competitive like across the whole nation. And so she would deal with those types of scholarships, and she'll help you perfect your personal statement that you can use on the study abroad scholarship here on campus or any of those other scholarships. And her email is l.falwell, F-A-L-L-W-E-L-L @ttu.edu. So if you have interest in any of these outside scholarships, this gentleman was just asking about the Gilman, which is a study abroad scholarship that if you're Pell eligible, you can apply for. So she would also deal with those. Any other questions? All right, if you think of anything while Elizabeth is speaking, then I'll still be around and can answer those questions for you when we're finished. Thanks.
Okay, as I mentioned to Dr. Ellis, I have started applications for all of you on the Study Abroad website, and I emailed you when I did that. But I just want to show you how to get back to that application and the other kind of information that's on our website. There's a ton of information about how to budget, what kind of immunizations you might need, all kinds of information on the website, so please take a look at that. But when you're ready to go back and work on your application, I know some of you have been doing that and some of you haven't yet, then you just go to the Study Abroad website, which is studyabroad.ttu.edu, and then log in with your E-Rater credentials. And when you do that, your application will be right there. So normally he's going to Japan, but just click on that and it will take you to the checklist that you have. So right now, all of you are in pending status. And that just means we've started an application for you. There are some things you need to complete on that pending status. And we will be accepting all of you, because I've now cleared everybody here for GPA and discipline issues. So we'll be accepting you on the 15th of February. So please get all of the things that are currently listed on your application complete before the 15th of February. And then when I accept you, you'll get a little automated email that says you've been accepted, blah, blah, blah. What that means is that from the 15th of February until March 3rd, that's your go, no-go decision time. Okay, you need, obviously you've been thinking about it right now, but by the 3rd of March, you need to commit on your website to say, yes, I am going on this program. And commit means till death do we part. So if you commit, you're committed. That means we are counting on you to provide the money, the program fee, that we then have to turn around and pay to the people who are doing the logistics for your program. So when you commit, then on March 3rd, I will be billing the deposit to your student account. And it will be $1,000 for all of the programs. So that's, the type of money that Nikki was talking about, that $1,000 is a lot of money to come up with in the middle of the spring semester, so she can rework your budget for the spring to try to help you cover that. So when I put it on the 3rd of March, then you have to follow the student business service rules of when that is due. Generally, it's 30 days. So by the 1st of April, you're going to have to pay that $1,000. If you haven't, then there's late fees, holds on your transcript, all that kind of stuff happens. But once you have committed and I have billed that deposit, then whether you go or you don't go, you will owe the entire remaining program fee. Because shortly after the 3rd of March, we have to start paying, like I said, for the hotels, the bus transportation, the train tickets, the Paris opera tickets, all of those kinds of things that have to be paid for. So we are counting on your commitment as being serious, like I'm really committed to going there. So the $1,000 deposit, like I said, is going to be billed on the spring term. And if, let's just say, your total program fee is $5,500. So if I put $1,000 on the spring term, Then towards the end of the spring semester, then I will put the remaining $4,500 on as a summer one charge. Okay? So that will, and every time I put a charge on your account, I will email you to let you know that's what I've done. So $1,000 on the spring, the remaining on summer one, that will happen around the third week of April. And generally those are due around the middle of May or Memorial Day or something like that. But whatever Student Business Services rules are for summer one due dates, you got to follow those. Okay? And then two other charges that I will put on at the same time as the remainder of the program fee will be the Education Abroad fee, which is $75. That helps to support our office because we're not fully funded by the state. And the study abroad insurance fee. I'll be enrolling all of you in health and accident insurance. The insurance costs $1.48 a day. So your programs are about 45 days or so you're looking at about $60, $65 for insurance. It's mandatory even if you're covered by insurance through another source because it has the coverage that will bring you back home if you need to be evacuated from your program. So those three things will go on at the same time towards the end of April. Okay. And I probably way skipped ahead of what I was going to talk about. Okay, pre-departure orientation. Has anybody in here studied abroad at Texas Tech before? Okay, then you all have to come to pre-departure orientation. And that didn't show up very well, but these are the dates. You only have to come to one. For all of the programs not going to the Seville Center, you have the choice of April 8th through 11th, a Tuesday through a Friday. We block out 2 hours. It usually doesn't take that. It will be in our auditorium in the International Cultural Center. Does everybody know where that building is? International Cultural Center is across the bridge going towards the big train with the windmill and all that kind of stuff. We're the building with the big globe out front. Okay, so the orientation sessions will be in there, and you just have to come to one of those. And if you don't come, you don't go. So make sure that you plan out now. If it were me, I would say, I'm going to go on Tuesday, the 8th, because then if I wake up with a sore throat or my grandmother has died over the weekend or something like that, then I know I still have the 9th, 10th, and 11th. But if you wait until the 11th and one of those things happen, then you're just out of luck. So plan to come early, and then if you can't make it on Tuesday, come on Wednesday. If you can't make it on Wednesday, come on Thursday. But if you haven't come by the time we're done on Friday, you're in big trouble. Okay? For those of you going to Seville, Donna Wright, who's the Seville coordinator, will be arranging a specific orientation for the Seville students. And she'll coordinate with Professor Aranha about that. Okay, questions about that? So Tuesday through Friday, April 8th through 11th, starts at 5, promptly at 5, so don't come at 5:30 because we won't let you in. Starts promptly at 5, and we'll get you out of there as quickly as we can. Okay, questions about orientation? All right, and those dates are also on your website. When you log into your application, it says you have to agree, yes, I understand that it's mandatory, and the dates are right there. Okay, the Study Abroad Competitive Scholarship opened today for summer and fall programs. It's funded by that international education fee that you guys have been paying for every semester since you've been here. So if you're juniors, right? Second semester juniors, so you've been here for 6 semesters. So you have paid a whopping $24 into that scholarship fund. This is your chance to get some money back. So it is awarded on a competitive basis, but I'm going to be really upset, like happened last year when we had at least 15 architecture students go. I really can't afford to go, and have they bothered to apply for the scholarship? No. So my advice to you is start the application today. Okay, it opened today. It is awarded on a competitive basis. There's a committee of faculty members and previous study abroad students who review all the applications. So 2 faculty members and 1 student reviews every application that we receive. And the application is online, completely online, and I'll show you how to find it in just a second. Now, it's really important to remember that that scholarship is not going to pay for your program. Normally, the minimum amount is $250 to $350, depending on the year, how many students apply, how much money we have. But if I walked from here to the parking lot and found $350 between here and there, would I stop and pick it up? Yes. So even if it's only $350, that's some meals when you're in Paris, it's, whatever. So apply, okay? Okay, so here's how you find it. On the Study Abroad website, you're going to find financial resources, and then go down to scholarships and Study Abroad competitive scholarship. Okay? Now, I really, really recommend that you read that advice for the Study Abroad competitive scholarship application, because guess who wrote it? The committee that reviews the applications. So they're telling you in there the kinds of things that they're looking for in a successful scholarship application. And what it isn't is, it's always been a dream of mine to see the Eiffel Tower. What it is, and this is easier for you guys than it is for any other students going, because your program is so tied to what you are doing here at Texas Tech and what you plan to do in the future. So they want to know why you have selected the program you have selected, or are going on the program that you're going on, from an academic standpoint, how it's going to help you here at Tech, and how it's going to help you in your future career as architects. So that ought to be a slam dunk. If you are not a good writer, you need to get somebody to help you write. And as Nikki mentioned, Dr. Lynn Falwell is happy to review scholarship application packages, but she's not going to do it the day before the application deadline. So the application deadline is February 27th. So when should you contact Dr. Falwell? Tomorrow, or the next day, not February 25th. All right? Okay, so that's enough about the advice. The application deadline, as I said, February 27th. There are no exceptions to that. I don't care how busy you are. We know architect students sleep in this building, but you just need to get it done before February 27th. All right? Okay, one crucial part of the scholarship application is it requires 2 recommendations. At least one of them has to be a Texas Tech professor. It's much better if both of them are. You can ask the professors who are going to be taking you on your program to write recommendations for you, but it doesn't have to be an architecture professor. It can be the GPTI student you had in the American history class, last year or whatever. It just needs to be people who can who can fill out the recommendation form that is based on your academic abilities. So don't get your mom, don't get your boss, don't get your pastor. They really do need to be academic recommendations. Okay? 2 are required. And here is how you search for them. So as part of your Study Abroad application, you're going to have another checklist, just like you do for the program. And down at the bottom, it says, click here to request electronic recommendation. That's what you do. You click there. And when you do that, it takes you to this bottom screen. And all you have to do is put in the last name of the professor. So if you've got Professor Mick Reynolds, you just type in Mick Reynolds. Make sure you find the right Mick Reynolds. And when you click on her name, it sends an email directly to her. But the email doesn't come from you. It comes from the Study Abroad office. So before you do this, you want to make sure that you talk to the professors that you are asking for recommendations to see if they, 1, are willing to write one for you, and 2, let them know that they will be getting an email, an automated email coming from the Study Abroad office, so that when they get it, they don't go, what the heck, and just discard it. They'll know to be expecting it. Okay? So it sends them an email, they fill out the form, and then it comes back automatically to our system, and you can see, oh, I asked Dr. Ellis for a recommendation, and look, he did it. It's checked on. And a little check mark. So you'll be able to see who you asked for recommendations and if they've been received. All right? Okay. This really doesn't show up very well, but the Gilman Scholarship, somebody mentioned the Gilman Scholarship is open now. It is, you have to be a U.S. citizen and you have to be eligible to receive a Pell Grant. But this is a scholarship that so few Texas Tech students bother to apply for. It just blows my mind. The average award for a semester is $5,000, but the average award for the summer is $4,000. That's a lot of money. But I will tell you that it's not an easy application. It's very involved. This is another application when you want to contact Dr. Falwell tomorrow or the next day. If you think that you are eligible, Nikki can confirm if you are eligible or not. But if you are eligible, talk to Dr. Falwell about how to put together a good application package. Because it's not the kind of thing you can start the night before and spend 30 minutes on and be done. You really need to spend a lot of time thinking about it. That $4,000, well, I wouldn't do that. Now, the other tricky thing about the Gilman is you're not going to be notified if you've been awarded until after you've already had to commit to your program. So this needs to be, wouldn't it be fantastic if I got the Gilman? Because I could really use that $4,000 to pay back the private loan that I already had to take out. It can't be, I'm not going to go unless I get the Gilman. Because you may as well just say right now you're not going to go then. You won't know until after your commitment deadline for your program. Okay, is there anything I didn't cover that you wanted? Any questions anybody has about billing, what it's going to look like on your account, when it's going to happen, scholarships, anything like that? Okay, everybody knows where our building is. Everything on your application can be done online except for two things. One, I need to say something else about the scholarship too. For your regular study abroad application, two pieces of paper we need in our office. One is a release form that you can print right off of your application, that it has to be signed in front of a notary. So don't sign it and bring it to the study abroad office. Bring it to the study abroad office where we have a whole bunch of notaries and you sign it there. Okay? And I think there's a notary here as well, so.
That here is a notary. Does everybody understand what a notary is? Okay. You know, they witness your signature and they are a public official. They have been given authority as a public official to certify your signature. So you have to sign it in their presence and then they stamp it.
And you have to have photo ID, so make sure you've got your driver's license with you when you do that. But if Gail can't do it, we have 4 notaries in the study abroad office, so we're happy to do that. There's somebody available all the time, except 12 to 1, don't come 12 to 1. And the other piece of paper that you need to turn into our office is a physical form. You have to get medical clearance to study abroad, so there's a form on your study abroad application that you need to print out and take to the wellness center, take it to your own doctor. We don't care who you take it to. I mean, it has to be a doctor. But we need it on our form, and we need the original. So not scanned, not faxed. You need to either bring it or mail it to our office. Okay? The other thing I wanted to mention about the Study Abroad Competitive Scholarship, one other component of it is that you have to have a transcript that shows that you are currently enrolled at Texas Tech. So that means you need to get one from the registrar's office. Now, as I said, this covers summer and fall terms. So we're talking about between 750 and 800 tech students going abroad between the summer and the fall. So if everybody waits until February 26th to get a transcript from the registrar's office, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to be able to print them all. So if I were you, tomorrow, they'll thank me for this because 1,000 students will run over there tomorrow. But go to the registrar's office in West Hall on the ground floor and ask them for a transcript. And then bring it to the study abroad office and drop it off in a little drop box that we have. And that way, you know you've picked it up and you have delivered it to our office and we have it. Because if we don't have it by 5 p.m. on February 27th, your application is incomplete.
And that's an official transcript.
An official transcript, yes. So unfortunately, it costs $5 or $7 or I've forgotten what, but I'm sorry about that. But we've asked the committee if unofficial is okay. They say no, they want an official transcript. So you need to get an official transcript, pick it up, bring it to our office.
So make sure you ask for an official transcript.
And they'll give it to you in a sealed envelope with the registrar stamp on the back, and that's what we need. Keep that envelope sealed, bring it to our office and stick it in the box. Okay? So questions about the scholarship or the process on our website, orientation, anything else? February 27th. So scholarship open today, closes February 27th, 5 p.m. Okay?